Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This is lesson 1, setting up the development environment. And essentially what a development environment is a place where you can code in Java, and it will also be a place where you can compile your code, and that will basically scan all of your code and determine what is wrong with it in terms of syntax. And it will also allow you to execute your Java code so that you can see if your code is producing the right output and determine other errors in terms of intent. In this video, I'm going to show you two ways in which you can set up your development environment. The first way is to download a professional application that will act as your compiler, and the application will also execute your code. The second way is to go to an online application, which will, of course, act as your development environment. So the professional application that I personally like to use is called Bluej. The reason why I like Bluej is because it gives you a clear and organized place in which you can code in Java and successfully see what your code does. And also, Bluej is very nice when it comes time for doing inheritance because it clearly shows you the class hierarchy. But I get ahead of myself. We'll talk about that when we get to the inheritance lesson. Now, the online compilers, they can do all of these things, but I feel that Bluej is easier to use and it does it in a more clear fashion than the online compilers. So now I'm going to show you how to download Bluej. You want to go to your browser that you use. I'm going to be using Google Chrome. You can use any other application, Safari, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, etc. We're just going to want to go to google.com, a standard place for us all. And what we're going to want to type here is Bluej. That's it. And we're going to want to click here on this first link, bluej.org. And now we're going to go over here to download and install, and we're presented with a couple of options in terms of what we can download. So what you want to click is based on the operating system of the computer in which you want to code. So if you would like to code on a computer that operates on the Windows system, you're going to want to click this button. If you're using a computer that has Mac OS, you're going to want to click this button, etc. for the other applications. And since I'm using a Mac right now, I'm going to click this button. And it's downloading over here. Just going to give it a quick second. It shouldn't take long. Right, almost there. And here we are. So now we're going to want to go into our downloads folder, and we're going to want to launch this application. It's going to extract the file for you from the zip file. And here we are. We're going to want to click on this top folder over here. And here's our application, Bluej. So now you're going to want to put this in a place where you can easily access it. I personally would like for it to be with the rest of my applications. So I'm going to just copy this and go over to applications and paste it right here. All right, and you can do the same thing for Windows or put it in any other place you'd like. Now these files are unnecessary anymore, so aren't necessary, so we can just get rid of them to free up space. So we can just download, launch our Bluej application. We're going to want it to hit open. And here we are. If you're using this application for the first time, you're going to want to say that you're 16 or above. It really doesn't matter. And we have our development environment over here. So the other way that you can set up your development environment is using an online compiler. So my personal favorite is JDoodle. So we're just going to go to jdoodle.com. And you're just going to want to sign in here if you're using this to save your files. And you're going to want to click on Java. And here's your development environment over here. You clearly compile and execute over here. I personally will be using Bluej, so you guys, if you didn't understand Bluej, I'll be going through that a couple of more times. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in the following lessons.